Hello everyone and welcome to Between Plays. Alright, so I'm going to get into a company called Arena Minerals. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show some background, the importance of where we are when it comes to companies that are in the lithium industry. And there's an importance here with this company. Now, of course, naturally, we have to state this, all this kind of stuff. This is all of my opinion. I'm not a professional financial broker. There's no pump and dumps on this channel, whatever. Let's go and take a look at Arena Minerals. All right, so we all know about neolithium. I was talking about neolithium a long time ago. Basically, they were around, they were anywhere between 38 cents and 60 cents when I had mentioned the company on this site. And we all know that neolithium was acquired recently by Zhejiang at $6.50. But that's not why I was pointing out neolithium like a year ago. I was pointing them out because it had Catl there. And Catl is the largest battery maker on the planet. Okay, Panasonic, North America, but on the planet as a whole, it's going to be Catl, Catl. All right, and we all know that Tesla is with Catl down in Asia. So Catl makes all the batteries for Tesla. It's been like that since like 2016 or something like that. They have a history together, and they still have a contract until 2025 or something like that. So for me, neolithium was a no-brainer. Why? Because they had great deposit. They had, the standard that Catl was looking for, 99.9, percent battery grade. If you're looking more into the details, I believe it was like 99.86, and they rounded it to 99.9. But it was exactly what Catl is looking for as a standard. So Catl, Catl, right? They're with neolithium, and everything is going great, perfect. Now in the other world, we have Ganfeng. Ganfeng is the largest. That's not even the word. I'm tired, it's like midnight. So Ganfeng is the largest producers of lithium on the planet. So big difference, right? Largest producers of lithium on the planet, that's Ganfeng. Largest battery maker is Catl. But if you're largest battery maker, you're going to have to use up a ton of lithium. So with neolithium, naturally, the importance for the lithium to be able to be extracted so that way Catl can have access to their own lithium is extremely important, right? So now let's go back with Ganfeng. Ganfeng, all right, they are in this agreement with International Lithium in order to get up this Mariana project in the Salta region of Argentina. This is all happening in the lithium triangle area. And what ends up happening is that International Lithium had 10%, and they could have acquired to go up to 20%. But instead of doing that, International Lithium decided to sell it all off, and Ganfeng ended up purchasing the whole 20%, so the 10% that International Lithium owned, plus the extra 10% of rights that they could have bought International Lithium. Ganfeng just bought it all out, and they own the Mariana project now, and International Lithium doesn't own it anymore. And what ends up happening during that exact time that is happening, Ganfeng had already put a bid on Millennial Lithium. Okay, so there was a bid here at 335 or something around that order, right? And they have a bid, right? It's the bid's there, everything's happening, but there's two things going on here with Ganfeng. They have a bid on Millennial, but they just finished buying up the whole Mariana project. So therefore, it's already fully permitted. The whole thing's ready to go. So construction is there. So why, basically, you're using two projects here, all right? So they have a bid here, but then Catl, who is with neolithium, decides to bid on or outbid Ganfeng on Millennial. So now Catl has a bid here on Millennial. What ends up happening with neolithium at this point? Well, let's go back there. So Catl, basically, when they made an agreement with neolithium in the beginning, they had a board member and they have a person with boots on the ground, and they own 8%. So the agreement is 8%, one person on the board, and guy with boots on the ground. That is how important the project is for them. It's not just about money, it's about having a person on the board and a person with boots on the ground to make sure that nothing screws up with this project. Waldo Perez is like above and beyond himself. He kept, after, and listen, and I agree with him. I would have done the same thing too. Like, Neo Lithium, great resource, the whole, reserve, the whole 9 yards, quality lithium, blah, 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 blah. And we have CATL on board, and we have CATL on board, and we have CATL on board, and our partner CATL, right? Extremely important, right? But what ends up happening now is that CATL has a bid on Millennial Lithium. So what's going on behind the scenes with Neo Lithium? Naturally, if I'm Waldo Perez, I'm going to go and I'm going to ask the person that's on the board, hey, listen, for CATL, what's happening? You guys staying with us? Is that, 100%, you guys are owning that and you're going to own this? What is the whole thing? You get nervous because you don't want now Neo Lithium to leave, right? So you have this hope that they're still staying here. And then what ends up happening through those conversations, as the final feasibility study is, I'm sure, somewhere back there, because what ends up happening, Zijin comes in and they put an offer in, and now everybody on the board is unanimous to vote, yes, Zijin can buy the company. Why is that? Well, if you really think about it, as retail investors, we were all pissed, and I was extremely pissed because I had a lot of money in there, and if it would have went to production, with Catl on board, yeah, insane where we're looking at the stock. So naturally pissed, want to vote no for the whole 9 yards, blah, blah, blah. But what ends up happening if CATL is not on there and all this kind of stuff? It really freaking sucks, right? So now, Zijin puts an offer down for Neo Lithium. Everybody votes yes. But we know on the board we have a person from CATL there. So if it's unanimous, we have to assume that CATL also voted yes to the sale. Because they have Millennial Lithium, right? So what happens now is that 650 sale comes in at that price. And now Zijin is basically the owners until there's a counter bid. That's what they have, 650. They have a great bid there. At half that, and even if you look at share cap and whole 9 yards, it's pretty much half. All right, CATL has the bid on Millennial. Now let's go back to Millennial. What ends up happening over here is that Ganfeng could go and outbid CATL, but chooses not to do so. All right, and time goes on, and what ends up happening is super close friends of Ganfeng, basically, people in bed with each other, and Nakauchi or Taros or whatever the freaking the project is called, from LAC, from Lithium Americas. Ganfeng owns 51% of the project. Okay, and there's a lot of stuff behind that. It's because they wanted to get money from the Chinese government, but they had to have ownership. But so they went from 49% to 51%. They just flipped roles, and so that way they can get money from Chinese government and aid, in order to bring this up to production. So LAC is, bedfellows with Ganfeng, very close. They're working on projects together. And so LAC puts a bid on here. So is that like Ganfeng, like a revenge type thing? You know what I mean? LAC comes in, boom, and outbids Catl, CATL. Now, look at the situation that we have here. There's two situations here. One of the situations is that CATL, at this moment, no longer has, in the Lithium Triangle area, a quality reserve anymore. They've lost their position. With Neo Lithium, they agreed that Zijin should buy the Neo Lithium, right? And with Millennial, they've just been outbid. So now you got CATL in Noverse. They're just in limbo. They don't have these big reserves anymore. Really not a good position to be in. I mean, they should have just stayed with NLC. All of us investors were inside there. It was doing great. It was such a steady stream. You know, there was no pump and dumps on that stock. It was just incredible. Always a little bit of a beautiful climb, and you knew it was solid. It didn't matter how bad the stock market was doing. The supports was just insane on that stock. It was doing so well. So CATL, it's almost like karma, right? You know, and especially like, you know, a lot of, you know, countries believe in karma, individual people, myself, whatever. Karma is anyways. So the thing is that it's almost like karma coming into play here, right? So CATL is in the netherverse, right? They just don't, they don't have a project anymore. And this is so well played by Ganfeng. If I'm sure there was a conversation between Ganfeng and LAC, because they're bedfellows when it comes to the Cauchy project. So I'm sure there's conversation over there. And now you got LAC that's picking this up. Look at the position that puts Ganfeng in. The largest lithium producers on the planet. They have great agreements with LAC. Picking up this stock, picking up this company over here. And of course, that really continues to play a huge role in the Ganfeng history of largest producers of lithium on the planet through their bedfellow, I call them, of LAC, right? So we got to look at two things here. How important is lithium for real? Okay? You got these guys, they're going at it in public. This is not happening behind the scenes. This is happening in our faces, right? The reality of what's going on here for lithium because of the future, it's just insane. And it's just happening in your face. Like, this is an amazing chess game right now. This is incredible. So we know how important this is. So we're going to look at two things. One, let's look at the strategic positioning of Ganfeng, all right? And the importance of Arena Minerals. So basically here you have Arena Minerals. And in Arena Minerals, you can see that the most recent Lithium X Energy Corp was acquired in 2018, all right, from Arena Minerals and developed through to production lithium brine project in Chile and in Argentina. Salta de Atacama in Chile, Rockwood was sold for $6.2 billion. This is who Eduardo Morales is. That's on. He's the chairman, right? So they're talking about the project and the lithium project in Salta, Argentina. So an agreement to acquire 100% of the Sal de la Puna lithium, the Pasos Grandes with Millennial Lithium. So 11,000 hectares in Pasos Grandes Basin shared with Millennial Lithium, which we see what's happening with Millennial Lithium, right? We see that. It's right there. It's happening, okay? Analytica Resources acquired for, 2,000. Potential for significant resources in world-class established basin. Almost 22 million invested to date, including Scissor. And look at this, baby. Ganfeng Lithium, all right? Strategic partnership with world premier lithium producer. Ganfeng Lithium's code acquired 19.9% of Arena pursuant to a private placement announced February 3rd, 2021. Ganfeng committed to acquiring 35% of the Sal de la Puna by contributing US dollars, Arena and Ganfeng to develop the Sal de la Puna project with objective producing battery-grade lithium products. Now, we can keep on going with this, but this is not the point. I mean, it's not hard to miss. You shouldn't be able to miss the point on this. Arena Minerals, with everything you saw right here, just this little checklist here, in my opinion, deserves at least a small placement to any investor that wants to hold for the long term and looking for a company that wants to be involved in this great war, okay? Because it's pretty much an incredible chess match and war that's happening right now. Now, Arena Minerals is at 54 cents. So if you look at LAC, which was at $3 at one point, I was invested in around $3, and you see where they are now, and you see what Ganfeng can do, well, this is incredible, because LAC is around, what, it fluctuates between $25 and $30 now or something like that. So Arena Minerals is at an extremely inexpensive price when you saw what was just stated over here by the chairman, what they own, and the Millennial Lithium that's involved there. And who's involved with Millennial Lithium now? LAC, right? So you you got to put all these things together. There's a lot of intertwined involvement here that puts Arena Minerals into a spot that you just can't deny. You just can't deny. You can't deny that the potential is to see that this stock is, this project. Forget about the stock. Let's think about the project alone. That the project is going to be brought to fruition. If they're going to do all the studies that need to be done, they're the permit the whole 9 yards, and it's in the Lithium Triangle area, and in Argentina, that's just basically just handing out these permits and the whole 9 yards. And you're dealing with Ganfeng here. You're dealing with companies that already deal with this government, right? So it's just not complicated when you look at the whole war. So Arena Minerals for me is going to be a top stock, absolutely for sure. I believe that retail investors cannot just allow this opportunity to pass by. No way, heck and how. And if we even go into some of the records over here, like Arena Minerals initiates comprehensive work program focus on resource expansion. All right. So now we're even looking at resource expansion over here. Take a couple of articles here and there. All right. So for Arena Minerals. So it's talking about Ganfeng as a top 3 lithium compound producer and largest producer of lithium metal globally. So it's the largest globally. Ganfeng has a strong presence in Argentina, including 51% ownership. And this is the Catl Lithium project. This is the one we're basically talking about when you look at Lithium Americas. So this is what the executive chairman states of Arena. We are thrilled to have Ganfeng Lithium, one of the world's largest and most successful companies in the battery material sector, participate in offering and join us in a major. The proceeds will offer assist Arena in developing the Anfola project as well, evaluating future acquisitions in Argentina. Forget about it. You're looking at something that's just, it's huge, right? So we are convinced that this is the future of the brine lithium industry, allowing assets to be developed without incurring excessive capital costs while reducing the technical risk of having to build and operate a chemical plant. So Mr. Morales is the former president of Rockwood, Lidio, Chile, when he oversaw the development of the world's premier lithium brine asset in the Salar Atacama. So also someone else with experience. Okay, so why, this is already something very, very good. Okay, so basically what I was trying to find, and this is what I wanted to really bring out, is that something else that Arena has. So Mr. Morales and the Arena team have developed a proprietary brine processing technology. So the process allows for production of greater than 30% lithium chloride from conventional evaporation ponds, has numerous benefits: transportation to centralized carbonate plant, production of battery-grade lithium carbonate without purification circuits. So this is the whole thing, which makes them even more important. So the process allows for basically greater than 30% lithium carbonate from conventional evaporation ponds. So they even have a technology. Arena Minerals has a technology that allows for using all these other companies using evaporation ponds and stuff from the lithium brine in Argentina, stuff like that, which takes so much time for the evaporation to actually happen and to be able to get the lithium. But Arena Minerals has a way to take that process and allow for greater than 30% from conventional evaporation ponds. That is a huge, huge, huge thing for someone that's like the leading lithium producer on the planet, Ganfeng. So I honestly believe that this company, Arena Minerals, the stock is just going to skyrocket. At one point, we're going to be looking at 54 cents as a joke. This is my opinion, of course, but first of all, if I'm Ganfeng, you got to put yourself inside that person's skin, right? You got to so what would I do if I'm Ganfeng? Well, I got, Lithium Americas is now bidding on Millennial, right? And they bid and even that bid alone, all right, for Millennial basically puts LAC still at basically half the cost of Neolithium. And remember that, because I'm going to come back to something else with CATL in that position, okay? So LAC bids on them, all right? So it's still basically half the cost of taking on Neolithium. So LAC is involved in Millennial. Ganfeng is in a great position because they have the Mariana project, they have, they're 51% with LAC in Cauchy. And now the problem is that you still have that evaporation pond process. You always have to look at the water, like the aquifers and the whole 9 yards and the water rights. And you have to look at all this stuff. It's not just one thing alone. So if I was Ganfeng, I would be like, wow, these guys, Arena Minerals, has a proprietary brine processing technology which allows from conventional evaporation ponds greater than 30% lithium chloride in order to be basically lithium carbonate. So you could basically take that and have greater than 30% over a conventional. So yes, of course, I'm developing all these other places, but wouldn't I want to bring Arena Minerals reserves, wouldn't I want them to come up to production? Absolutely. Absolutely. You got a really big reserve there of lithium. Of course I want to bring it to production because I'm going to be at greater than 30% off of conventional evaporation ponds, which means that this is going to be my most important purchase as one of the biggest, largest producers of lithium on the planet, because I'm going to get way more lithium out of one pond here, which means I also want that technology, because I'd like to be able to use that technology across all of my other projects, right? Because my other projects are already existing. But if I can somehow go with Arena and be able to try to get that, there's a lot of stuff that eventually can happen in agreements behind the stage, but we're talking about in the future. But I have every single, as a businessman, I would want Arena Minerals to succeed. That's what I would want. And I would want to be able to help them succeed as much as possible, because I would want to line their pockets with tons of money in the future, careers forever, whatever, so that they're so freaking happy that I would be able to have access to that processing technology so that I could then eventually use them across all my other projects to create greater lithium from conventional operations, because that's so important to me. So for me, Arena Minerals is a no-brainer to get into. Just a no-brainer. And Arena Minerals has other things, like they had copper, they have this, they had gold, and there was other things. I know that they, if I remember correctly, they sold off their gold stuff and stuff like that. They have money, so I'm not really worried there. And plus, they have Ganfeng, so they acquired Lithium X Energy Corp for $265 million. It's right over there. So I'm not worried about Arena Minerals whatsoever, and I just see positives. So this is, when you look at the war that's happening for lithium over companies that you're paying, $370 or something a share in order to buy it. You have $650 for Xinjiang on NLC. Then you got, I think now it's $470 from LAC when it comes to Millennial. I mean, of course, this is a joke. They're going to definitely invest in here to be able to bring this production. Now, so for Arena Minerals, I would say that's pretty much it. The importance is there. Naturally, everybody should do their research, due diligence, and get into it. But for me, look, I was inside this stock now at, I think, 40 cents. We're at 54 cents. That's a lot, depending, especially on how much shares you have. That's a lot. And the thing is that this is nothing. For me, this is a joke. If you even look at, let's say if companies were selling out, well, it was 335 basically to 650, let's say in the region, because of NLC and Millennial. But when you look at it today, right now, you're looking at like 470 to 650, right? So I mean, and Ganfeng isn't going to be selling it off, not in my opinion, because they're the largest producers of lithium in the world. So what do they have to do? They need more lithium. They need to hold that stake, that title, right? Because that's what makes them important. It's not number two that's important. Who's number two? You know what I mean? Is it Panasonic, whatever? But the point is, when you say who's the largest, they want to hold on to that title. It's like the old saying, everybody remembers number one, but no one remembers number two, right? In the Olympics or whatever, stuff like that. So, everybody remembers who wins the Stanley Cup, or, that, wins a Super Bowl or something like that. But, who was it that we're playing against? Or, anyways, point is this. Ganfeng wants to hold on to the title, so I see that Arena Minerals, with everything it brings to the front, it's just no brainer. No brainer. I'm looking at it, and they're not gonna sell this off. So Arena Minerals could end up becoming the next LAC. That's how I see it. I see Arena Minerals could become the next LAC. So, you know, it's just a no brainer because Ganfeng has up to bring it up to the production, the whole 9 yards, can go up to 50% ownership, and that's only normal. There's nothing wrong with that. The reason why there's nothing wrong with that is because Ganfeng has a Chinese government that backs them. So the money, if it goes to 51% even here, like it did with LAC, LAC is, you know, up at, you know, let's just take a look at that real quick. Okay, well, let's, you know, thank God we went and took a look at this really quick. So here we go. So Lithium Americas Corp, all right. Wow, that's quite incredible. What a huge jump from what I was stating before, because I basically have not looked at this stock since October 7th. So, wow, I mean, it's really, really flown up there. So imagine what Ganfeng can do for Lithium America. If you have enough money and Arena Minerals goes to production, I mean, look, that's what you're looking at right here. You know, you're looking at, you know, that's what's the difference? What's the difference? If Arena Minerals, their project in the lithium triangle, it goes to production, Ganfeng's on there, well, there you go. And why is Lithium America shooting up? There's also because of a lot of reasons. You know, the fact that they might be required millennial, so they're going to get bigger. But you saw that millennial is intertwined. I showed it to you. There's an intertwine with Arena. So there's a big thing here happening, okay? So for me, Arena is a no-brainer. If it reaches $40 and you have a lot of shares, oh my God, at 54 cents, oh, it could change your life completely. Like, honestly, it could change a person's life completely. You know, imagine owning 10,000 shares or 5,000 shares or 15 or 50,000 shares or whatever at 54 cents and it goes up to 40 bucks. Yeah, whatever. We can see here that the importance is there. So let's move on now to a different topic within the same type of scenario topic, but it has to deal with CATL now. So basically, Arena Minerals, okay, is an.v. All right, or for the over-the-counter, all right, you have the AMRZF or ZF, whatever, AMRZF. All right, so that's my call on this. Now let's go and look at CATL over here. Okay, okay. So when you look at Catl's positioning right now, it sucks the bag. All right. But what are they going to do? Are they going to go and outbid Neolithium? Not Neolithium, but Zijing. Sorry about that. That's a great question. Basically, you're looking at 640, right? So let's go take a look at. Let's go take a look at the horror story. The horror story is this right here on that one day, 28 days ago. Right now, CATL has nothing. When it comes to this, they're in a horrible position. So either they do something with Zijing, CATL, all right? CATL does something with Zijing to terminate that deal, all right? And paying out a lot less, and then going back to the way things were. I don't think it's possible, but whatever. We have to try to hypothesize what's going to happen here. We got to guesstimate, whatever. Or they're going to have to go and outbid LAC for Millennial Lithium. I believe that this is probably where they're going to go. It would really suck if they'd have to start from scratch all over again. But sometimes in life, you got to bite the bullet. All right? You got to just take it. You got to just take it and move on. Sometimes it's not worth it. Because let's say they decide to go, and look, now we're just talking, all right? So let's say they decide to go to Lithium Chile, for example. You know, Lithium Chile owns deposits in Argentina and Chile. maybe they can go in there. You know, it's safer because they have two different deposits. They can bring that up, and that's very cheap and whatever. They can go with Argentina Lithium, bring that up, and that would, you know, and the thing, but you're starting from scratch again, and it really sucks because timeline is important. I mean, they're already behind. You know, they need lithium, let's put it that way. So it would really suck. It would be really, really bad for them to have to restart from scratch when they're in the position that they're in right now, owning nothing. So, you know, since I'm not in the company of CATL and I don't have the inner workings of how much lithium they need right now, how desperate they are, well, naturally, we could only try to assume, according to, you know, articles in the news that are put out to the public and stuff like that, that there's constraints. Look at Tesla with their semis. They're behind because of battery minerals and all this kind of stuff. And so you have to like take all this into consideration, because CATL also makes all the batteries in Asia for Tesla. So you got to look at this, like they can't afford to be in a bad position. So for me, you know, if I was CATL, I would probably be talking Xi Jinping's butt off and saying, well, what is it going to take for us to break the agreement? You know, what, you know, 50 million, 100 million, you know, 150 million, 200 million. Because in the end, it's actually cheaper than acquiring it. Now, of course, naturally, you have the 8% that they own in LLC, and, you know, only God knows if the agreement would, for them to have more of NLC at this point and all that inner workings. So I don't believe that we're probably going to get something tomorrow on CATL's next move. But if we're playing chess, CATL has to make a move. It's their move now, and they're just you know, they know that they don't have the board at this moment. They don't have the board, so they're going to be sitting there and they're going to be looking at it and they're going to be going, okay, what's my next move? And they're going to be looking at it for a long time, and they're going to have to discuss with people behind the scenes. They have a lot of work to do to make sure that the position that they're in right now, that they don't do that to themselves again, because it's a horrible position to be in when you need. They should have just stayed with NLC from the very beginning. They should have just stayed with NLC, but they saw this thing and they were like, whatever, and they just dropped. They just dropped NLC because the whole board was unanimous in the votes. You saw it. I just read it before. And they have someone on the board, which means that, you know, even for someone like Waldo Perez going out there and trying to bring this to production, which is what he wanted to do, because he was on LAC, on Lithium Americas, and he brought it to that point. So he was going to bring this to production. He didn't have there was no real intent on, you know, if I really just try to, you know, read a person's nonverbals and all this kind of stuff, I really believe that Waldo wanted to bring this to production. He was so proud having Catl on board, the whole 9 yards. And why not? When LEC had Ganfeng, over here he has Catl. Holy shit, that's incredible. All right, what an amazing job. It's sort of like CATL, sort of like, you know, stabbed, you know, NLC in the back. All of us retail investors as well, and Waldo Perez. It's sort of like, that's what it sort of, you know, it is in a sense, because you went off to Millennial, you know, you betrayed me, the whole 9 yards. You know, and then you voted yes, it's unanimous. Why? Because behind the scenes they're like, okay, well, screw it, sell NLC, bring it out to Xi Jinping. Well, you know what? Karma's a bitch, and now they're in this freaking nasty position, and they need the lithium, and they were so close to getting it. So now they're going to have to outbid Millennial, and they're going to have to pay more than what they thought they were going to pay with Ganfeng. So now it's getting higher and higher. And if you want to know the honest truth, I think that even if CATL does go and outbid Millennial for LAC's proposal, I believe it's just going to go higher. And then, you know what? I don't think that I really don't think that Ganfeng and LAC, even if they combine themselves, wouldn't have a problem coming in as partners and outbidding Catl's next move. I don't, you know. So Millennial is in a great position to have maybe 2 more bids, because NLC is at 650, and if you think about Millennial at, you know, their brine, the lithium is at 99.96 or 98%. It's even more quality. All right, so it's better quality. So I mean, now we're looking at like such details. You know, I mean, it's insane. You know, 99.86, 99.98, whatever. like such a little deal, but it makes a difference in this world. So that's just basically it. So we can see that there's for anyone out there that's doubting how big the lithium industry is going to be, if it is that important, not important, or is our legs being pulled or whatever, you can see that this bidding war in the whole 9 yards between two giants, right, in the same industry, but one's a battery maker and one's a lithium producer. Well, you can see that this big war is showing us that there's a lot going on here and the importance of it. So, in conclusion, basically, for me, Arena Minerals is highly important. When you look at the whole global thing here, it's highly important. Arena Minerals is, when you look at everything, what they've acquired, their technology, using conventional ponds, they can have, with their proprietary technology, they can create a greater than 30% off of conventional. So they have something that's extremely that other people are just going to want big time. So Ganfeng's there for sure. They're going to help. They're going to do everything they can. That's why they're involved. So Arena Minerals for me is a no-brainer. You're looking at a stock that could potentially do exactly what LEC is doing today. So right now is a time, like I said, it's my opinion, of course. Okay, so not a financial analyst, the whole 9 yards. You seek professional financial advice if you need it, whatever. This is just my opinion. And as I said, we do not do pump and dumps here, so I'm not interested in that. And people that want to pump and dump, just go do that somewhere else. It's not, it's just not worth it to be, not do proper investing, diversifying, having great strategies, and the whole 9 yards. Like even Betweenplays is going to be ended up calling Betweenplays stock market strategies. So the thing is that, and that's the website is going to be even changed. Memberships are coming in soon. There's going to be chat rooms opened up, the whole 9 yards, and that's all going to be announced very, very soon. I have third parties working on that, and there's no pump and dumps here. So basically, let you know when all that's going to happen with the website. For once and for all, to conclude, Arena Minerals for me is a huge play, huge play. You just sit, you put your money there, you sit there, you just look at the news of the company, because you want to make sure that nothing negative comes out, and you just wait on that baby to go, because Ganfeng is going to need that thing to come up to production. Because if you know how lithium reserves work and stuff like that, ponds take a long time for the evaporation process to happen, and they're also limited by how much tonnage each one of these projects is allowed to bring out. So Ganfeng has every intention of getting Arena Minerals to production. And with the conventional technology, anyways, that we stated, over greater than 30% off of conventional evaporation ponds, that is huge, 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 huge for Ganfeng and nothing. So Arena Minerals for me, man, I'm extremely, extremely bullish, and we need to follow Catl's next move. Follow. What if they pick up another 30 cents company? It would be amazing. We'd end up having Arena Minerals, and we'd have this other company. Yeah, man. What a great time to be in the stock market. I mean, it's like investing in oil in the 1920s. It's just insane. It doesn't come around every day. So, from me, guys, research, prepare, plan, execute, and stay strong. Everyone out there, just taking 2 seconds of your time and asking you to hit the subscribe and the like button. I'd like to also direct you to betweenplays.com, www.betweenplays.com, where we put up many different articles. We have 3 different writers at the moment, and we're trying to up the authors. And go to our Twitter account for like really quick information at Betweenplays1. And we'll be able to get people to pre-market information and whatever comes along that is important to macroeconomics, microeconomics. As we say here, our motto: research, prepare, plan, execute. Always do your due diligence, and stay strong, everybody. Stay strong.